All right, Kenman here, and today this beautiful box here represents the final knife from the incredible Mr. Eddie collection. Before we start, I'm usually not sponsored. I usually purchase everything at retail price. I do these videos because I love discussing knives and sharing info and ideas with others. If you have any questions or thoughts, please feel free to comment below. I say usually because in this case, this knife was brought to you by the Mr. Eddie collection. Mr. Eddie is a knife collector and knife maker. This is one of the knives that he has made that I purchased and have in my collection now. I love it. Doesn't that thing look sick? But he did send me about a dozen knives from his collection to kind of check out. A lot of them are higher end knives that I wouldn't have normally been able to get a hold of or check out. So it's cool that I've got them. I can kind of review them, showcase them, share them with all of you. Here we are, Kenman. Open the box. Let's get inside. I don't know if I said, but yeah, Mr. Eddie's information is down below. We got a link for his YouTube and his Instagram if you want to check him out, see some of the knives he's got, and maybe buy one as well. Okay, this is the Jake Hoback Knives box. Very cool box. Hoback Knives, commitment to quality. If you want a screenshot, read that. Built to last. This is the Husky. There is the information. We will go over it as we explore, check out the knife here. Comes with some tools and this nice little box. And there it is. This thing is huge. All right, let's get this stuff out of our way and check it out. Hoback Knives. Jake Hoback. All right. Look at this thing. Absolutely enormous beast. This is the Husky. Boom. Look at that. Soak it in. What a monster. Does anyone have a Jake Hoback knife? Anybody got one of these? This thing is a monster. It's got a big old flipper tab right there. Boom. Just missed a little bit. Huge frame lock. What are we looking at? Let's open it up again. Bow. Okay. So, what do we got here on the Husky? Blade is a Nitro V. I don't know what you call that. Kind of a drop point Tonto slash multi grind blade. Sorry. But yeah, Nitro V for the blade. We have a titanium and twill carbon fiber handle. So it's a dual handle where it's not symmetrical because you've got your show side with that twill carbon fiber, and then you have the titanium on the frame lock side on this huge knife. Just a beast. Look at those teeth marks. Those jimps are just about as aggressive as they get. Wow, this thing is crazy. All right, what do we got here? Clip cannot be swapped to the other side. The clip does have that Jake Hoback kind of hatchet logo cut out of it, which is really neat. Says Hoback right there. Psalms 23. And then there's nothing really written on this side of the knife. Very clean design for this overbuilt beast. Drop is decent. That flipper tab works pretty good. And then there is a fuller. Oh, I missed it. Let's try it again. Oh, jeez. Putting a little pressure on the frame lock there, I think. Come on, Dan. Yeah, failing. It's a big boy. I'm a lefty. Maybe I should try it with the left. There you go. All right. So, wow. Thing is absolute beast mode. Those jimps are, like I said, they look like teeth marks bit out of the top of it, about as thick and beefy as you can make them. I did notice if you go in and get your finger really deep like this to do the flipper tab, it's going to drag across there. And it doesn't like cut the skin or anything like that, but it almost hurts. But that flipper tab is so big, you can get all the way at the tip of it and flick it out without having to get down in there. But generally, with a flipper tab, you just kind of reach in and grab. But I noticed I drag across those teeth, and you can see they're like, they have some aggressive cuts to them. Do we enjoy these Mr. Eddie unboxings? Hit that like button. Subscribe if you would like to see more. All right, blade is solid, not moving anywhere. Nice and solid everywhere. Centering is, of course, absolutely perfect. This is an expensive knife. You would expect it to be that way. But look at the clearance and the way that that is in there. There's hardly any space for that blade to not be centered, right? Look at that. Very well made, very well built. You got that big, huge lanyard hole. Plenty of space to tie something through there. I like the cutout in the pocket clip. I think that's a cool little touch. There are some mirrored jimps on the other side there. So you got some at the top, some at the bottom. So you can kind of feel that down where your pinky is. This is an enormous knife. I have a large hand. I can really spread out my grip, and it still has plenty in the end. Looks like you could choke up there for doing some fine kind of tight work. Actually, that feels really nice up there like that. Getting in there and do some shaving or something like that. Index finger out on the top of that huge, thick blade. Wow. This thing is a absolute beast. Whoops. I struggle with it just for the size almost, just because it's just so overbuilt. It's a hog. It's fun though. If that's something that people are interested in, this is definitely something to check out. All right, let's get some close-ups here. Nice shot of the whole thing. Gotta zoom in here a little bit. Nice big fuller going most of the way to the blade there. Interesting. Got the nice twill carbon fiber on the one side. We got the titanium on the frame lock side. Looks like it's got an over travel. It is just a monster. Wow. Slams out. Okay, let's do some measurements. What are we looking at on this thing? Wow. We are looking full on 9 3/8 tip to tip. Blade, depending on where they go, you could say it's a 4-inch blade. Someone can get away with that 4-inch all day. If you go right to the middle, the smallest part's about 3 3/4. Cutting surface is 3 3/4. Yeah, but it's actually, you're looking at like 1.5 right there and 2.5 right there. So 1.5 and 2.5. That's like a 4-inch cutting surface if you were to add them together. That is something. Handle is a beast mode. 5 5/8. Wow. Let's check out some thickness. What do we think the blade stock is on here? Common full-size knife is probably 11 to 13. 24. Absolute serious thickness. Handles are usually about a 1/2 inch. This is 0.78. 7778. You're looking at 0.9 where the pocket clip is. Just huge. How much does this thing weigh? I've really enjoyed the Mr. Eddie knives. I've actually had them for quite a while. I got kind of caught up in some of the other stuff, and I tried to split them up. And it's been the ongoing joke on my lives. I'm live on Thursdays from 6 to 9 Central. And people give me hell about how long it's taken to get the knives back and how long it takes to do some stuff. And it's fun. I love the community here. We have a blast. 9.6 ounces. My goodness, that is huge. I compare everything with the Pyrite. Pyrite is 3.67. 9.6. It's almost 3 Pyrites. I got a couple larger knives I'm going to show too. The Resource is 6. The Titus is 4.3. The Riff 4.9, almost 5. So, I mean, my larger knives right here compared to this, 9.68 on the Husky. It's definitely a Husky. Big old beast. Okay, boom. So the Pyrite is a nice, not quite full size, great everyday carry. Very comparable in size to several different common EDC knives, so people are aware of that size. I use it as a good comparison knife. Definitely really shrunken down next to this Hoback Husky. Probably a full inch on the front, full inch on the back, easily. Just dwarfs that Pyrite. Pyrite is a great knife, though, if you're looking for something everyday carry. Good budget knife. One of my favorites from CJRB is the Riff. The Riff is a great knife at a significantly less price than this Hoback. It's got a similar action with that flipper tab, and then you've got that fuller that goes the most of the length of the blade. Definitely still smaller, half inch or so on the front and the back on that one. CJRB Riff is definitely one of my favorite knives. If you don't know anything about it, check one of these out. It's really cool. Same thing goes for the Kubi Titus. I love this knife. It's a bigger knife. I've bought 3 of these now. Sold a couple of them. Or actually, I sold one. I gave one away for my birthday giveaway celebration. But I really enjoy the Titus. It's got great action. Flips out really nice. You can also flick it out with that fuller. And it's also dwarfed a little bit by that Husky. It's something, I tell you. All right, the other one I have, another CJRB, the Resource. The Resource is the one that I have that I thought, all right, it might be a comparable size to that Hoback. And we are there. CJRB Resource is probably one of the bigger CJRBs. Actually looks like the blade has it beat by a little bit, but then the Hoback has the handle beat by a little bit. But if you put them side by side, overall length is about the same. A little bit more cutting surface, though, on that Resource. Well, that's getting close to the end. I'm going to do a final review of all of Mr. Eddie's knives, but I do appreciate Mr. Eddie for letting me, loaning me all of these really expensive and cool knives to kind of check out and share with you all. I hope you've enjoyed it. Man, this Husky is just literally a beast. If you want to check out my video on the Resource, it's right up there. I do have an affiliate link to CJRB if you want to check that out. You make a purchase. It does help out the channel. Much appreciated. Definitely a good larger knife on a budget. If you can't afford this Hoback Knives Husky, check one of these out if you do have the dollars for it. Stay sharp. I'll see you soon.